And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Bullpen, episode number 15, minus the Digital Bullpen. I think everybody's busy and doing some other things. So, without further ado, the show must go on, as the show always does. We may change the title later for this broadcast to Ortiz Inks or something like that. Once again, I'm doing some digital inks, practicing Paul Pellator pencils once again. Wolverine versus Wendigo. I like the dynamic poses in this drawing. Lots of detail, a lot of things going on, and of course, Wolverine is like one of my all-time favorite characters. Paul Peltor is an overall general, very nice guy. Met him at a con, and I just like the way he was and the way he behaved and talked. So it was cool. To see some more of his artwork. I own some of his artwork, which is pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he thought it was pretty cool too because it put money in his pocket. I don't know how artists feel about parting with some of their original stuff, but he was super cool about it. Really nice guy. If you get a chance to meet him at a con or anything like that, it's well worth it, man. Guy is humble and real cool and a super talented penciler. So, there's that. Well, like I said, usually we have a crowd of people. Usually we have El Guapo. We have, hey, I Jordan, how you doing? Usually we have El Guapo. Usually we have Manny from Good Dog Press, Josh Chris Art, Trusty Sidekick, and the whole works. But I know Manny gets home from work late. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I was hoping that El Guapo and Manny would show up because they have books that they're trying to promote, and that's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? If you have a book to promote, you're on talking about your book and letting people know what's going on with it. You know what I'm saying? And that way people understand, maybe get behind you a little bit and some of that good stuff, So we'll see what happens. I play it by ear. 7 o'clock or 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time that we go. We'll see what happens. We can turn lemons into lemonade, or we could just chill. It doesn't matter to me. I appreciate y'all for coming by. Of course, it's just me. I apologize for that. If y'all were waiting on the whole digital bullpen, I guess I was too. But hey, those things happen.
I guess you'll just have to settle with me.
Hey, what's up, Larry?
Not much, brother. What's going on?
Not much. So, I was like, oh, and Niobe has a book too. Shoot, there you go. Somebody with a book is here to promote their book. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, but I did see a link in a group I was in. So I'm like, yeah, I get clicky. I want to click on links, Oh,
that's awesome. Tank must have put it in that group.
So I'm here to crash your party for a little bit and see what's up.
Man, it's supposed to be the whole digital bullpen, like normal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's what's going on with this. That's not good. It's supposed to be the whole digital bullpen, like always. Just us fellas trying to. Why is this doing that? We don't want that. We want you to change colors. So I'm trying to figure out why you're giving me this. Don't mind me.
Oh, no worries, dude. I'm just waking up. I work graveyard shift, so I only been up for a couple hours. You wake up, you have that kind of fog until you kind of
right.
Yeah. So that's
usually I'm in a fog for like half the day, and then I snap out of it. But thank you for joining us. Thanks, Tank, for dropping that thing. I'm trying to get Google Hangouts to work as Tank. Rice Lee says LQP and ERT's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Risey. And I Jordan says I Rebel.
Rebel, that's right. That must be from iRobot, right?
Yeah, I think he's talking about you. From Rebel Comics instead of I Jordan, I Rebel.
I Rebel, yeah. Risey Lee, of course, no relation to Niobe Lee.
No, not at all. Booster Kiwi. Oh, he says, Jimmy White, box yourself. Booster Kiwi says, nerds. Ooh.
Nerds.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I'll be talking with Booster tomorrow. No, it's not tomorrow. It's gonna be Thursday on the Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition.
Oh yeah, Booster can talk. You know.
Booster, he's my favorite Kiwi. My favorite Kiwi. The
Wow.
Kiwi connection.
Yep. Riser Lee. Hi. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. People are just dropping links. Everything is beautiful. I think you missed out the intro, so I grabbed some pencils from Mr. Paul Pelletier. I always pronounce his name wrong. And I was telling earlier that I met him in one of the cons and bought some of his artwork, and I find his pencils to be pretty doggone amazing. And, so I figured, I'm probably just gonna do a couple of Paul Pelletier pencils for a week or two. Give the man some love. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need a lot of it, being a pro, but you never know. You never know. Justin Rican in his comics says, "Yo, sup, Justin Rican? He did us a big favor yesterday. Oh, you're looking. Oh, that's what I was. Oh, it's Wolverine and Wendigo. That's what you're looking at. It's a piece where Wolverine versus Wendigo, and if I ink it correctly, you'll be able to tell what it is. And if I don't, just pretend like I did. It's okay. It's no big deal. I mean, eventually, it would help if I start putting some pencils down. Some ink lines down. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Justin Rican in his comics, aka Rod the Rican, aka Rod with the Rican scale, aka a guy who did us a solid. He usually showcases and scales traditional comics from like Image and Marvel and all that stuff. I asked him if he would take a look at El Guapo's Indiegogo campaign, and you know do his thing with a digital campaign on his channel, and so we can get a different set of eyes other than just the people in this community. Maybe if we can get people from other communities to look at the books, maybe they'll bite and buy. You know what I'm saying? And he enjoyed doing it. So he said that anybody else that has a book coming out on Indiegogo and wants to hit him up for him to do like something similar, that he'd be more than happy to help. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We want to reach as broad an audience in the comic community as we can, because I was listening to his show, Pass or Buy, I think that's the name of the show. And they were talking about some of the comics that they were disappointed in and whatnot. And so maybe if we can get them looking over here, and maybe they can buy a comic here and there from the independents, and they're like, yo, here's another source where you can get where you're missing here or there. So and just to Rican in his comics says, Skunk Girl, you're next. So there you go. And Marcus is hustling, saying, just to Rican, I'm gonna IG you tomorrow. I have a potential idea for your intro. So this is the main reason why I do this thing right here on YouTube is the networking, man. But you can't network within your own peoples. You've got to move around. Speaking of moving around, Tank Ferret, man, how you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing way better than yesterday when I flew in and I had migraines, and I just was no good to nobody, so I just went to bed.
I can understand that, man. LA gives me a headache too.
I don't know what the hell. I really don't know what happened. The minute I got out of the airport and into the town that I was visiting, my head just started throbbing, and I was like, "What in the heck is this?" And the whole time I was there for like 4 days. The whole time I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. My head was hurting. I really, for the occasion that we went to, I had a good enough time, and supported a friend's wedding and whatnot. And that part was fine. But me physically myself, I was just feeling like straight garbage.
Sad to hear that, man.
And no, I felt so bad, dude. I couldn't sleep, nothing. I couldn't even eat because when I get migraine, it's so bad that I get queasy, like nauseous.
Yep, I know that one.
And I just couldn't. Rod says, need to run. Wife is asking me to watch TV with her. Go ahead and take care of the family life, buddy. He'll take care. Yeah. So then as soon as I made it back home, everything just started clearing up. But of course, I just fell asleep. I took a shower, fell asleep, woke up, not as good as I normally would have woken up, but way better than when I was in Cali. So I'm glad to be away from there.
Finally got some fresh air, huh?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And some of the people from there were like, well, there's a lot of allergens in the air over here, so that might be your problem. I'll say, well, that's one less person ever coming back to California. That's for doggone sure. That's for doggone sure. Next trip,
Can't blame me
hopefully.
there.
So hopefully the next trip will be British Columbia and Japan are my next two trips that I'm trying to do. And then I think I'll be all tripped out for the year. And no more interruptions on the streams and scheduling. You know what I mean?
I can dig it, man. I can dig it.
But I tell you.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Heck yeah. Man. So I had a friend of mine when I was before I moved over here, younger guy, his 30s and whatnot. And we was talking about it, and I did that thing, can you dig it? So he asked me, where did that come from? I always hear the older people say it. I said, you've never watched Road Warriors? He said, no. I said, they play it on TV all the time. Do yourself a favor, watch the movie. Man, why did that movie become his favorite movie? All I keep hearing was Road Warrior references for like a month. Oh, it was. I found it funny, because it's a movie that transcends time. At least I think so.
Well, that's the mark of a good movie. Any movie that you can watch 20, 30 years later and still has some relevance and some meaning. It's obviously a timeless classic, and Road Warriors definitely would be one of those.
Oh yeah, that was a especially with the bottle clanking Warriors. Come out and play. What's up?
I hate to poo on your party, but I think the movie's just called The Warriors.
That's it's not called. Did I not say The Warriors?
I'm talking about Road Warriors, like Mad Max Road Warriors. What are you talking?
I'm talking about the.
He's talking about Warriors.
Yeah, I'm talking about Warriors. Yeah.
Like, I don't remember that in the movie, but okay, Right? You said Road Warriors. I'm thinking Mad Max, brother. Like,
no, I might have had a little slip and tank with the correction and the saving the Rican's face. I do have old man memory though, so
that's all good. It's all good, man.
A similar thing happened with my son, and Good Dog Press has joined the call. Who's Good Dog Press?
Mannylicious.
Who is this guy
named Manny? He does this book called Skunk Man or something.
Yeah,
this is Good Dog Press, who just got 2 more backers today. Thank you for it.
Outstanding. Huzzah for the backer.
Thank you to all the backers out there. We're doing awesome, and we still haven't hit those big time chats yet. So we're working on it. I
need some of your luck to rub off on me. I'm $13 away from our first $1,000.
Well, like I said, Rod's show is doing well. He has grown so much. He had 50 people watching in his stream tonight.
Cool.
That's 50 sets of eyes that if one of you guys decides to jump on with him or allow, tell him to give a book a shout out, that's at least 50 sets of eyes that are different than what we've got going on here.
What time does it go on?
He goes on different times. He's got the Rican scale. He's got comic shout outs on Sunday. Today he had buyer pass because New Comic Book Day is tomorrow. So they were talking about the comics that were going to be released and which ones they were thinking about buying or passing. That one's the one that had the big show. But he gets pretty good views on his channel, he came out of nowhere. But hey, like I said, man, you want to try and capture everybody that reads comics. You just don't want to capture one crowd. You don't change a movement by just echo chambering your way. You got to break the barriers. You got to not be afraid to reach out to different people and you know, and put your product. Now, if your product is good, and we all believe Niobe and Skunk Girl and Chango, we believe they're pretty good products. You know, at least I think, you know, all y'all artwork is on point. You know, stories. We haven't read the stories on any of them yet. I haven't read your Niobe. I did back you, Niobe, but I am sad to say I didn't get the first one ever. So I'm just backing it because I never got it, and there's an opportunity to get it this time.
Well, I can't. Well, and that's why it's out there because I get those messages all the time because no one, you know, in these circles didn't know me 5 years ago, and I wasn't on Twitter, you know. So it's a whole different crew of people here. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yep. To me, as a matter of fact, Good Dog looks like he's already on promo mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Good Dog Press. Manny?
I like how he just completely missed that view.
Right, like
out and play.
So he puts his whole thing like he's ready to promote, right?
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Well, that's what you gotta do, dude. You for 60 days or 30 days that you're on this, you gotta be on it.
I know, and then I put it on you, right? And then you go radio silent on me.
No,
that's because he was preparing for a surprise attack.
I had to go grab my iPad so I could see what was going on, you know. Because once I put it on my screen, I'm not going to see anything else. So,
speaking of iPads,
you're ruining the illusion that you're a mastermind.
Well, you know, some people like real. You know, Manny is real. You know, and some people like that. They like that not perfect hero, a hero that has faults, and Manny has more faults than what's that line? San Andreas fault? Yeah. He has more faults than San Andreas. Like Manny could actually sink California all by himself. So anyway,
Lord,
I digress. I digress. Like you could tell, I missed being on the stream. I was gone for a couple of days. I was out of town for a wedding. I'm back. Cool. I'm back.
That's cool.
Whoa, my twin brother Cesar Feliciano has joined the call as well. He's got the glove.
How's Cesar doing?
Cesar's doing well, man. What's up with that glove, man?
What's up?
You don't have one of these, bro?
I do, but not like that one. That looks like it's got pads and.
Oh, this thing is it's a Doki wear. You gotta check them out.
It looks like something you would wear for like carpal tunnel syndrome.
No, this is the actual dude, and the fabric is awesome.
Yeah.
It's got right here. It's got a pad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looked like you could use the karate chop some cinder blocks.
Well, you don't want to try that out. El Guapo is back into a martial training again.
Uh-oh.
I was throwing punches the other
buddy.
And with the trainer, and when you used to do something a long time ago and you get back into it and you hear or do a certain thing, all of a sudden everything comes rushing back. So I'm punching the bag, punching the gloves, pop, 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 and all of a sudden everything was just like rushing back. It was a crazy feeling. I burned 620 calories in 35 minutes.
That's nice.
Awesome.
You know, Ortiz, you were talking about you moved so fast. I didn't get even a chance to comment on this yet. But you're talking about comic book sales and what's popular, what's not. And
yes, sir.
You know what the number one selling comic was in June?
I don't remember.
Black Cat number one. Over 250,000 copies. So a popular YouTuber, you know, he was like, I don't know why Black Cat is number one. So I would like to let that popular YouTuber know I do, because the covers were done by J. Scott Campbell. That's why, sir. That's your answer. Sex appeal. Boom. Done.
Yeah, and I just saw on Twitter somewhere where they made She-Hulk very nice looking again.
Oh yeah, well that's a fantasy. I think they're gonna keep it like the ugly, over muscled, nasty thing still.
Oh no, man! Please don't make her like she was. We all loved her the way she was. Intelligent, you know, strong, feminine, you know, all good and endearing qualities.
You know, she was feminine and she had some musculature. You know,
right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You could be feminine and strong.
Fit and fine is good.
Right. I mean, Manny does it all the time. Look at Manny; he's doing well. Speaking of Manny, all right, Manny, go
No.
ahead and promote the Unbreathable Skunk, bro.
I just want to say one thing about Black Cat. If you guys like J. Scott Campbell, just buy it for the cover, and that's all I'm going to say because the rest of the book is trash.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Normally,
SJW?
book covers are variants, and they usually cost 30, 40, 50 bucks. He did a gorgeous cover for cover price on Black Cat #1, which is why it's actually on the shelf right beside me. I haven't read it yet. I don't even know if I'm going to read it, man. I'm scared to read it. You know,
Skip the first story. Go read the 2-part story, which is a selling comic. It's just a 2-pager. That's better than the first story.
but that's why the book is selling. Okay, now the book is actually written by someone within driving distance of me by the name of Jed McKay, a Canadian. So you know, that was another reason why I bought the book, because I wanted to check out his work. But yeah, covers by J. Scott Campbell, and it's not just like he did cover 1. You know, he's doing all the covers as far as I know, like till X amount of issues. And then if you go to his web store, then there's like 10,000 Black Hat variants. So
I should. It's funny because your boy Zach said he didn't do a review. I should do a review because nobody's done a review on this yet. I should.
it was my plan. It's just I don't announce those things.
I read that book when it first came out because Black Cat is one of my favorite characters of all time. Obviously, you look at Skunk or you can see the influence. So I was up for this book. I'm like, yeah, Black Cat is coming back. I was thoroughly disappointed.
Well, when I met Jed McKay in Halifax, I grilled him. I said, is this going to be like, you know, Black Hat toned down, or are you going to have her in a sexy costume and having her do Black Hat, you know, anti-hero things? And he assured me that she would be in the costume and that she'd be doing, you know, thievery, heists and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good then, you know.
No, I agree with Risey Lee out there. Risey Lee said the art in the book is the art in the inside is garbage.
Well, yeah,
you know,
well, here's the thing, right? And you guys can maybe talk to this because, you know, you're all comic book creators. And I know, Manny, we're going to push Skunk Girl here, but, you know, you just open up a can of worms here when it comes to different cover art versus what you actually see inside the pages. And this was one of the things that kind of hurt Niobe, you know, is that we had, you know, gorgeous cover art. And then I think, you know, for issues 2, 3, and 4, the artwork wasn't on par with what it, you know, it could have been. So what are you guys' thoughts on, like, should, like, you know, whoever's doing the interior art do the cover art, or if you're going to have like a cover artist like J. Scott Campbell say do your Black Cat covers, do you at least need to try and find someone that can somewhat match up to him, you know?
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna approach this from a consumer more than anything else. But the cover art, I always look at it as the icing on the cake, right? It's got to be phenomenal because you have to catch that eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
The interior art has to be. I don't think it has to be 100% on par, but it at least has to be about 70% there. And what's happening is, yeah, you get that 100% eye candy cover, and then you get about 30% on the insides. And that's, and you know, and you're looking at artwork like I'm not that great of an artist, and I could have done these insides, you know, like for real. Like, you know, they got like an oval with 2 little slits for eyes, and you know, blacked in for a little tuft of hair, and you know, like a rough shape of a old 50s zoot suit guy, you know, broad on the top, narrow at the bottom. I don't know what's going on with that. But I understand, because the thing with that as well is that they don't get 5 or 6 months like an Indiegogo campaign to do their book while it gets funded and whatever, you know what I'm saying? They got to crank it out and get it out as soon as possible. But I think that the drop off between the cover and the interior is way too much. Like,
yeah, too drastic. And here's the reality with the way that they market this thing. To be honest with you, so you got a guy like J. Scott Campbell who can produce a cover. It'll probably take him a week and maybe 2 weeks, depending on what he's doing, okay, to produce a really finely illustrated cover. Whereas the interior artist, the biggest thing that has to happen with the interior art is it needs to be serviceable, but more than anything, the story needs to be able to be told well. All right, so if the art is okay and there's good, like the artist, whether it's male or female, doesn't matter, is able to tell a good story, there's a nice balance there. But when you got an awesome cover and you got a subpar or not really up to snuff artist, that also is not even really a good storyteller, then that's really like crash. I have actually picked up comics and tried to read them and say I can't make sense of these panels, and I've put them down and not even bother picking them up again, because that's very crucial. The whole experience of comics is to be able to flow left to right, okay? And if there's an interruption there somehow with the way that the story is being told, whether it's, oh, there's a weird tangent here, or why is the artist making me move my view back up this way in an opposite direction, that's all distraction. So, but to be honest with you, nowadays, um, it's a lost art form. Like, there's not storytellers. I think what you see, and I've seen a lot in comics, with especially with the big two, is more. They're almost like storyboards. They're not like, I don't know if you've ever done storyboards. Storyboards are just kind of really basic, just kind of showing some flow and movement. It doesn't really matter as long as you're matching the way that the camera would move. That's all that matters. So I see some comics that are drawn in that way. There's no pacing. There's no setting up the scene. They don't let a page breathe, or they don't put enough information on there. And I find that to be, very unenjoyable, especially when you're dropping, what is it, $4 now, $5 on some books on a regular basis. Not cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, think about it. That's what made Jack Kirby so great, right? Like, his panels and his artwork told the story, and a lot of people gave him grief about the anatomy and things that didn't make sense. But, he illustrated so well, man, that everybody loved this style. You know what I'm saying? And, those are things that you got to look at. But I just think that and I'm just making hypothetical numbers with the percentages, like 100% on the art, but we're getting 30% on the interiors. That's just how I feel. I feel like it dropped that level of a drop off is just way too much, because they were talking about it on Rod's show. They were like, which was your cover book, right? A book that they solely bought because the cover was dope, but they were never going to read the book, and we don't want that, right?
Well, we want gorgeous covers, but we want good books too.
Yeah, no, of course. The cover is the icing on the cake. Speaking of covers, there's a USO variant cover being displayed by Mr. Good Dog Press. Manny, for the 5th time, take it away.
Oh, people talking, man. I'm Good Dog. I don't even interrupt people. If they got something to say, let them say, man.
I know, brother. I know, but
and as they're talking, I'm showing all the beautiful art that's available in Skunk Girl.
And you were white boxed as well. That was done on purpose. But I said that not for you, mostly for them, to allow you to finally talk about Skunk Girl, Manny. Relax.
The whole thing about Skunk Girl, people, it's a fun book. It's not a dreary book to look at. And you notice it's very colorful. I did that on purpose. I didn't want to do the modern day style of pretty much gray tones. I wanted to go back to the old style of 4-color press. Bright, vibrant, you got your primary colors, you got your secondary colors, something to just pop. I want you guys, when you guys read this book, you guys are going to read it from start to finish. You're not going to stop. It's going to be a fun read. It's not going to be page upon page upon page of dialogue. You got action. We got 5 fight scenes. And I just was storyboarding today Skunk Girl #2, which starts off with a fight scene that goes on for 11 pages. 11 pages of fight scene right off.
Call it storyboard. Call it layouts.
Well, it was actually, I just laid out the whole thing. I mean, it was thumbnails. It's all thumbnails, so it's ready to go. I mean, I'm starting on Skunk Girl #2, so it's going to have a whole bunch of shout outs to Skunk Girl #1 is in Skunk Girl #2. It's going to explain some little things that happen, some little callbacks. It's going to be fun. Pope Fire is going to like it because I am incorporating Kit into the book. So if you guys don't know, Kit is supposed to be Skunk Girl's sidekick. That's what Pope Fire wanted. So I'm going to incorporate him. It doesn't look good for Kit. That's all I'm going to say. She should not have made a comic book character for me because I'm going to troll her.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. And if you guys see, I got 12 pages of Skunker up there. That's the original art tier that you guys can reserve. So whoever, and it's been like whoever was the first one to back the book at this tier, they got to reserve which page they wanted. I mean, this is the kind of thing I wanted to do, is make sure that people get to see what they're going to get, because some of these books you sponsor them at that tier, the original art, you don't know what you're going to get. It might be just a page of people just sitting around. None of my pages, people are sitting around. You get a whole bunch of good stuff. I mean, the only page that's almost sitting around is the SJWs, but that's pretty much the SJW's first appearance. So that's a really good page. And you got the Booster Boys page, and you got some butt shots here and there, which pretty much I think all the butt shots are gone. They were the first ones taken. Gee, I wonder why. We got some Booster Boy butt shots if you still want that.
No, nobody wants that, Manny.
Well, there's a Booster Boy butt shot, and you still have Skunk Girl's butt shot up there, which is a really good page, because that's actually the fifth page is actually the very first time you get to see the Booster Boys. Booster Boys with Skunk Girl and her 3 skunks. That's an important page. So I want to make sure when I put pages up there, they're actually real pages. And even the very first page up there, that's an important page. There's a spoiler alert on there for a reason. You know, don't want to give that away, what happens. So that's an important page. Want to make sure everything was, you know, something that you wanted to get. It's not going to be just a throwaway page like, oh, they're sitting around again. Where's the superhero? Where's the main characters? These have main characters. And what I'm really proud of is this tier. This tier is going great. 6 of these sculptures have been taken already. And there's only going to be 25, and that's it. 25 sculptures, and that's all. There's no more. You throw away the mode after 25. You can only get 25 really good copies. Once you go past 25, it's just deteriorating and it doesn't work.
Well, let me ask you a question, Manny. How big are those sculptures?
They are just as big as any Marvel one that you find. Let me go measure it. I got the thing right next to me.
Nice. So we got Perry Comic. Oh, go ahead.
Question. No, go keep on going.
No, I was gonna say. So we got Perry Comics in the house. He is with an AML. Oh, by the way, I didn't announce it, but AML, who's in the chat right now, was the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card giveaway for my 600 subs. He's been taken care of. They're happy, and everything is good to go. Perry Comics is part of that group that runs with Rod the Rican, aka the Rican Scale, aka just the Rican and his comics. So he's one of these guys that does a lot of he's more of a DC Comics guy than a Marvel. Doesn't really like Daredevil too much. Loves Damian Wayne and you know, Hush, the Batman Who Laughs, or something like that. I don't know. I don't read that. But anyway. So
okay.
I just wanted to say welcome, and if you stick around Perry Comics, there's 3 independent creators on this panel. One of them is Good Dog Press, aka Manny, and he is the creator of Skunk Girl. So stick around. He's gonna talk some more about it. We have Niobe #1 with Niobe Comics, and we also have a Guapo Comics with Cesar Feliciano. So stick around. You might see something you may like. Go ahead, Manny.
Yeah, I recently found Perry Comics myself through Just a Rican. I went over there and I found a whole bunch of cool channels to follow. And dude, I really like it.
Yeah, no, they're all good. They're all good people, man. They're all really good people who just love comics.
They did a nice promo for El Chango. Really, really neat people. So thank you so much for introducing me to those guys. They're nice.
Well, you know, the whole thing is what I've been saying. You gotta put your comics into people who want to read comics. Right? We have to go out and find these people that have these comic book channels that are enthusiastic about comics, that still have that love, that drive, that passion, that want to talk about art, want to talk about what we were talking about, you know, covers versus interior artwork versus storyline. They want to find those things, you know. And Perry just said, man, he loves DC and indies all day. So how can you go wrong with that? The man wants to find good independent comics. So, Manny, if you want to go ahead, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I mean, I did measure the skunk girl, and from the bottom of the base to the top of her head is at around 6 inches, and then from the bottom of the base to the top of the skunk tail is about 8.5 inches. So it's a pretty substantial. I mean, you can put this in your hand. I mean, it's a big deal, and it's heavy.
Now, how much does that tier go for?
That tier goes for $100 because you get the original book, you get the wraparound cover, you get the wraparound print, and you get this sculpture.
It's a lot of bang for your buck, brother.
And you know how much these sculptures go for. And the sculptures that you get in the stores, they're like limited edition of 1,500.
Oh, dude, I got like
This is a limited edition of 25. And you're not, I mean, those limited edition ones, the artist just does the original, and people go out and they get it mass produced, and you got some young kids in some foreign country painting it. So this actual sculpture is going to be painted by the artist that created Skunk Girl. That's going to be by me. So
yeah, I was about to say, Manny, how you say by the artist that created Skunk Girl when you're the one that created Skunk Girl? Like, are you ready? Are you already third person in yourself?
Poor dude locked up in his basement, you know, just like all in rags. He's like, please, can I have some bread that's not moldy?
If you smell what the Manny is cooking.
Yeah. And my favorite part that I always say when I'm trying to promote my book is, if you guys cannot afford the book right now, you guys can still help me out, you know, by supporting the book, by telling a friend about this Skunk Girl. Maybe you got a friend that loves this kind of, you know, fun. I mean, if you guys love Harley Quinn, this is the book for you. I mean, it's going fun. It's bouncy. It's not going to be boring. You're not going to be bored to death. Like I said, you're going to start reading this from first page all the way to the end. It's going to be nonstop. It's a fun comic, fun, lively. Nobody's fifis are being talked about in this book. Fifis are dealt with extreme prejudice in this book. So there is one person that tries to go a little bit fifi, and he gets what's coming to him. Not going to see what that is. Don't want to spoil alert, but yeah, this is gonna be fun, people.
All right, another quick little shout out. Another one of those AKA Puerto Rican comic book, Puerto Rican and his comics is Comic Jabroni, and he's in the chat as well, checking us out. Thank you so much. If y'all don't know, you might notice his icon. Our very own Trusty Psychic was commissioned to do his icon. So this is what bringing these people in does. It helps bring that cycle around within people. All right, back to you, Manny.
Okay, and if you guys are wondering how is this going to be printed, this can be printed on glossy paper, perfect bound, you know. So that's why I'm giving away when you guys do get it at the Stink tier, which is the original comic book and the wraparound cover, you will get a centerfold pinup. That way you can see what goes on in the back and the front at the same time. Okay, so you know, give it a chance, look it over, you know, see what's up, and we got a lot more time. You know, it says 15 days there. We're gonna do something about that 15 days. Don't worry about the 15 days. All right, we can work with it. If you guys know what I'm talking about. What happened with Indiegogo? They give you 30 days, and then at the end of the 30 days, you can re-up again. So we're most likely going to re-up again, people. We're going to give this a whole 60 days. So don't worry about the 15 days if you don't got the funds right now. What I used to say at the beginning, if you only put 50 cents a day away, by the end of this campaign, you'll be able to afford the book.
For the price of saving a child, you can.
No, it's actually for the cost of a cup of coffee back in the 80s, because not now, you know. For the cost of a cup of coffee, you could save the starving child, you know. Well, or if a cup of coffee, you could line Manny's pockets.
Well, think about this, man. A cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee costs around $5, you know, plus tip. You know that now. If you get a cup of coffee every day, if you just make your coffee at home for 1 week, dude, you can get the basic tier and have enough left over. Right.
That's right. Comic Jabroni. Hey, Comic Jabroni. If you want to have, if you want to do a show with Manny, that'd be a good way to do the promotion. But Comic Jabroni says he definitely wants to highlight Skunk Girl on his channel. We appreciate you, brother. You know, and Perry Comics as well.
You know, all these wonderful people out there, please DM me. DM me. My DMs are open. The only thing I gotta tell you, if you guys don't know, I work at a job where I cannot look at electronic devices for 10 hours. So it might take me a little longer to get back to you guys, but I will. I always look at my DMs before I go to work and when I come back home. So if you guys think I'm ignoring anybody, I'm not ignoring anybody. I just can't take electronic devices into my job.
And for new viewers, just so you know, Manny's top secret government job is creating super soldiers by resurrecting fallen soldiers. The problem is they're still trying to work out that whole foreign accent thing. It's like, these guys are Americans. They come back sounding Belgian and Dutch and stuff,
So what you're saying is Manny's responsible for Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No comments.
We can't tell everybody.
Quiet. No comments. No comments. But yeah, if you want to drop your Twitter link on the chat group, man, go ahead, brother, so they can get a hold of you. Because I don't have it. I just invited Comic Book Bob over. He just finished doing his job, his stream not too long ago, and he's a good artist. So Manny, are you done? Or you're still talking about the wraparound cover? Nope.
No, we're good. We're good. We can come back.
I just want to give El Guapo and Niobe some time before these guys on the East Coast have to dip. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Niobe, are you on promotion mode yet?
Well, I got the Indiegogo on my screen.
But there you go. Go take it away, sir.
Well, so, you mentioned it earlier that you got Niobe #1 here because you missed out the first time you wanted to check it out and read it, which is exactly why it's on Indiegogo. I mean, I make no qualms that this used to be on Kickstarter. This is how we got our start 5 years ago. It's been going strong. People want to see the original. I don't have a web store, so this was the best way to kind of bring it back. Do a brand new cover for people just on Indiegogo. This cover is done by Josh Spencer, who's been on many programs here within our circles. Great guy from Australia. So we have, everything here is affordable. It's 44 pages. It's, regular comic book. It's like if you bought like a Marvel annual. It's about that size of thickness. You know what I mean? So there's the digital tier, the IGG exclusive tier. If you want the first printing, I got some of those left over, though they're limited, but they're available. Blank variant cover if you're a guy like me that likes to get art done on covers. There, right here is the gorgeous cover that Josh Spencer did for me, and he's available for commissions, folks. So if you want to hit him up, now here's one thing that kind of got people a little confused. People are asking me about international backing. If you are a international backer, that means you're outside the realm of Canada and the United States. Then what you want to do is you want to come to the Niobe World Tour and click on that one. That's the one that ships worldwide. All 3 covers are available, but this is cool. We got the Niobe Chibi T-shirt available. You guys see me wear this on my broadcasts all the time. So that's available. All 3 covers and the Chibi T-shirt is available. That's our largest tier. Now I'm thinking about maybe trying to put something a little bit bigger up on here. But right now that's kind of like the big kahuna. That's the big daddy. There's 15 of those. 2 of them have been claimed already. Here's a look at some of the black and white gray tone artwork. We want to go full color with the next book, but this book was done in gray tones. But it's gorgeous art by David Coates, a great Canadian artist. If we hit goal, everyone that backs physical will get a Niobe Chibi button, which I have tons of. And if we hit 3,000, everyone will get the original Niobe Rockstar print by the original artist David Coates. And if we, get beyond that, we'll start releasing some more goodies to you. But yeah, I mean that's it, short and sweet. To be honest with you, brother.
All right, thanks, Larry. Appreciate you, brother.
You, brother.
And let's move over to El Guapo Comics real quick.
I got a question about El Guapo real fast.
Go ahead. I'm going to highlight El Guapo, who looks like he's working on some panels.
So how do you get EVS to be the co-host tomorrow on that show you're going to be on?
I don't know if he's there, but I hope he is soon. That was pretty amazing. I saw that too, and I was like, whoa. That's awesome.
I'm looking at that show right now, and they were promoting tomorrow's show, and they have El Guapo's they got El Guapo's face, he got a comics on there, and then on the corner they have co-host EVS.
Yeah, and Edwin Boyette.
Yeah, wow.
That's awesome. El Guapo. Gen-
Hopefully, El Guapo talks about the digital bullpen.
So,
I just like the name El Guapo. You know,
yeah, well, the Guapo is a great name. So I'm gonna put it back on Freeform, because until the Guapo gets back.
How did he leave? What is he doing?
Hold on. I'm sorry, people. One of my favorite artists is here. He snuck in on me in the whole process and caught up in the hoopla of trying to get these books promoted. Mr. Josh Chris Arts, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Man, thanks for joining us, man.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, Manny. Sorry I'm late. I didn't even realize what time it was and trying to get some things done around the house. And I was like, oh, crap. Oh, gotta go.
No, I really want to see the top part of his drawing.
The top part of his drawing? Well, he's inking the legs, man.
I know. Oh, see, this is like gorgeous line work, brother.
No, Josh is amazing. Josh is one of the most amazing artists nobody's ever heard of. But his art is everywhere. Like, he does commissions. His art is in Australia, and he just finished doing a project with Upper Deck. So some of you might have his artwork and not even know who that you're talking to the guy right here. Josh is really amazing. Josh is really amazing. I don't care. I'm gonna still hype you up. And he's got the best Copic work as well too, besides Top Knock.
I am just glad that project was done. I got them all finished. I can't believe it. I had time to spare. So, and they're all shipped off. They've been received. So now it's just a waiting game to figure out what gets approved and what doesn't.
Good job, man.
Yeah, Josh is an amazing guy, people. Real good guy. And he does commissions for super reasonable prices. Some people say too reasonable, but hey.
Hey, I like too reasonable. Send me your links.
I had somebody send me a commission request, and it's either in Japanese or Chinese. And I'm like, huh? And the English translation's a little broken. And I'm like, I don't know if this is real.
Forward it to Chester Busby.
So how do we find you on Twitter, Josh?
I don't really do too much on Twitter, but everything is on Josh Chris Art. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, I usually do most of my stuff on Instagram.
Okay, let me ask you this. So what's, other than Instagram, because I don't have that, what is the best way for someone to reach out to you to check on commission rates, prices, artwork, that sort of thing?
Really email, probably, because like I said, Twitter's just a dead media to me. Other than reaching out to you guys on this to get on the link for here, I don't get on Twitter.
Yeah, but you know what, Larry? He is on the group chat that you probably got the link from.
Where did I get the link from? I just crashed your party, E. Ortiz. I wasn't invited. I just showed up.
I know you weren't, but you know, hey, I ain't mad at you. I know who did it. I know that was Tank, and I ain't even mad at him either. Because the thing is, I don't have your information like that, Larry. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, well, you know.
I got it in the dog stars.
Oh, then you're in the group. Then I send it.
I'm in the dog stars. I'm part of a lot of DM groups. I just get added to, you know.
Well, Josh is also part of the dog stars.
There we go. Okay, I can reach out to him that way.
Yep.
There you go. Problem resolved. That's what I do, people. I resolve issues and problems. Now you think that this is some Chris line work. Wait till Josh starts throwing colors on those Copics. Now, y'all think I'm playing around. I am not playing around. This dude, he's getting ready to hit Todd Knock levels, man.
Man, you talking way too much stuff, man.
Bro, your Copic work is amazing. That's what they call you, the Copic Kid.
Oh, this is the Copic Kid again. Okay, cool.
God damn it.
You're never getting rid of it.
You know,
it's gonna haunt you to the end of your days, Copic Kid.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. but man, you know what? Let me catch up on the chats while everything's going on, and while y'all look at some of that beautiful line work that Josh throws out. And Yeah, so we caught on that comic Jabroni saying that he wants to do the triple time, me and Rod and Jabroni. Ha ha ha. Yep. There's also the triple comic thread that they do. Y'all can check them out. I forgot to mention that AML, the guy who won the 600 sub giveaway, they got the Amazon gift card, also has a comic book channel, comics reviews and whatnot. So another plug for him. Congratulations on winning.
Yeah, AML is pretty cool.
AML's awesome.
Yeah. So and he won 600 sub giveaway thing. So hey. You know, I figured more people would comment and whatnot, but it wasn't really that many people. So, and a couple of people that did already told me offline, don't pick me because I'm just doing it to help you out. I was like, oh, okay. So I really narrowed it down to not too many people.
Well, you know, for AML, it must have been karma because that dude does a lot of cross promotion. They are always like, I don't know if it's a he or she actually, but they are always like, pushing. Actually, it is a dude because I watched their channel. Duh. Hi, I'm here. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, so El Guapo, are you back?
Yeah, I had to step away, speak to my beloved from Connecticut.
Oh, no worries. Family first always, brother. Yeah. No, we had some people from the Triple Threat Comics and all that stuff. And so we wanted to give you a chance to plug your book real quick before, those East Coast guys, lay their head down.
Yeah. Getting late, right? Almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I have a campaign now, Chango the Broken Veil. Let me see if I can pop this over here. All right, can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so we got the campaign here. It's lagging a little bit, okay, but we're not giving up. Either way, the books are gonna get printed. So whoever's contributed or added or given anything to the campaign, there is gonna be a comic that is produced. And I got to pay for it out of my pocket to get it done. It's gonna get done. But either way, so I got some tiers here, okay? And basically the story revolves around Ruben, who has been seeing demonic entities since the age of 6. Now as a teenager, he's looking to get rid of these entities once and for all. But is it really a curse or something more? So he and his mom end up traveling out to California for a trip that she thinks is going to help to bring them together, since he's been hiding what he's been seeing from his mom for the past 10 years. And she just thinks that he's grown really distant since the death of his father. And she's trying to do whatever she can to save that relationship. And he actually has an ulterior motive where he's trying to get rid of Chango and this curse. But quickly we realize, and he realizes, that things do not turn out the way that he expected. So the story is, it's a story of a mother and a son. It's got some comedic elements in it. It's a horror story. Someone asked me to explain, so I'm like, it's probably like The Sixth Sense meets Pan's Labyrinth with a touch of Troll Hunters thrown in for good measure. And I have some tiers here. So the first tier I have is a $10 PDF with extra bonus material. I have another tier here where it's $25 and you get the comic. Now the comic is a 56-page comic with some bonus material in it. You got a nice, good heavyweight stock on the paper and the cover for $25. Then for $35, you get the Chango comic and a print for $35. For $50, you can get the comic and also drawn, your personal demon drawn, an original design that I will create for you for just $50, which that's an incredibly crazy deal right there. And then the next tier is also $50. And then that's where Ben, my co-writer on this, co-creator on this comic, writes your own personal horror story. So what he does is he takes your greatest fear and he writes a little one-page story on the back of a postcard. He did one for me because like my thing is rats, that I don't like them. They freak me out. And he did like this really neat little story based on that fear. And then the next tier is at $75. You get the comic, you get the demon art, you get the postcard, you get the print, all for $75. And then if you ever wanted to be in the movies, or in this case in the comics, on the $100 tier, you can get drawn into the book. There's 10 of those available. And then we have the whole enchilada, where you get everything that's mentioned above, and that's $150. So I have the writer that I have on this, my co-creator's name is Ben Goldsmith. He's done a lot of comic work for his creator-owned title is Seance Room, and he's done a bunch of comics for Source Point Press and some other
we lose him?
Comic publishers. Jason Smith, who colored Spencer and Locke on as my colorist for this campaign, and then Justin Birch is doing the lettering.
I worked with Justin Birch. He lettered Niobe #4.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Justin's he's a talented dude, man. Like when he showed me, like, I don't know if you can see this particular page. Love the way he inked it. Some of the choices he made, where he placed the balloons and everything. Guy's really talented letterer. He really knows.
Well, here's something that people don't know about Justin is that he's done some work for Action Lab Comics as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So I feel a really strong team on the book, and I don't know why it's lagging. With just 8 backers, but hey, we're gonna keep plugging away on it. That's for sure.
Well, hopefully after you so Cesar, many wanted to ask you, how in the world did you get Ethan Bascarber as a co-host?
I have no idea.
You lucked out on that one.
I have no idea. It just worked out.
Look, hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Do the best to plug your book, and usually if Ethan gives it a thumbs up, you'll see a surge of backers. So man, that's an awesome windfall for you. Make the most of it, brother.
Yeah, I will. And I think that I feel good about it because a lot of people, I don't really outside of like just the people that I've met in this community and others, and just doing my own thing, I don't look at like say someone like Ethan and just kind of like hoping that he pays attention to a book that I'm doing. That's not what I'm hoping for. And I think that there have been some creators that have done that, and I think that it's not fair to them and it's not fair to Ethan because he can't promote everything. Okay, it's just not fair. Okay, so just the fact that
and can I add something just real quick? That if he promoted everything that came across his desk, he wouldn't stand for quality. He'd just stand for everything that comes across his desk.
Well, here's my question: is what were these people doing before Ethan? I mean, did they just make a book hoping Ethan would plug them and they were going to get to the gold mine? I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years and I didn't even know who Ethan was until last year.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I've met Ethan a few times, just at conventions and stuff like that. I've talked to him, chatted up with him. So I know him on that level. I just considered him in a certain sense a peer. I mean, he's on another level because he's doing stuff for Marvel DC Comics where, I've just kind of been plugging away for 25 years or so in underground comics, independent work, stuff like that, with some breaks in between. But, people know who I am. They want my books and stuff like that. The same as him. And so you know, to your point, there's a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people that just kind of throw something, hoping, and don't even talk about it openly. I'm like, wow, really, dude? That kind of, it sounds desperate to a certain extent, you know. I mean, I don't like, dude. That is like so weak, you know. It's like, and I'm not saying that you should just do things by yourself either, because I think that shows stupidity. Okay, but when you, I'm of a mind that when you do have an opportunity presented, which obviously I have, I'm like, wow, I don't even know what to do about that. But I'm almost like even nervous to even promote it. Right? It's like, all right, what do I do now? I haven't even really, other than just the other day when it was announced, I put a tweet out, but I haven't really done anything with that. I'll probably start doing a little bit more about it tomorrow. But I'm like, okay, well, here's what it is. Let's see what you know.
You need to get it out tonight. Don't wait till tomorrow.
What's that?
You need to get it out tonight. Promote that you're gonna have that.
Before I go to bed, I'll make sure that.
I mean, that's what I did for the Drawn and Quartered. I promoted that every single time I could, and it was a 4th of July. And 4th of July is not a good time to have a Drawn and Quartered. And I still did. Over 300 people came to watch that show. You know, if you gotta promote.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So that's it. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, congratulations again. It's a great win for Mark. KG is in the house doing the wrench thing. Welcome, KG. Thank you for joining us. Now, take advantage of it. Do the best that you can, man. Be the humble, intelligent person that you are, and you will do fine. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt about that. Being yourself is so much more important than anything else. Putting on a persona or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? My
whole thing, Eve, to that. I mean, when you go on a show, you try to make the host look good, and the reason why you want to make the host look good so you can get called back again.
Man, but you've never made me try to look good, man.
Look good all the time. I'm over here taking the slings and arrows from Ortiz.
It's because you're just so naturally magically good, dude. Come on now.
Is that what it is?
It is.
I sincerely doubt that. I do have to give the gap, which is funny because I am.
Lucky Charms are magically delicious, and you're just magically good like that.
Which is extremely funny because I am in real life a naturally shy person. Like I won't, you know, case an example, the wedding I went to, it was my wife's friends, not mine. I talked to maybe one person the whole time, you know, like naturally I just don't talk to people like that. But like when I'm drawing or we're talking about art, or we're talking about this, then, you know, I go all out, and then, you know, then I'll be quiet again. Like if I work 8 hours, out of those 8 hours, I might talk a whole 3 minutes. And today I had to, because something went wrong at the office, and I had to, and they called me from the East Coast, and I talked for 20 minutes to get it fixed. And then that was it. I was done talking till tonight. Eric Galenian is in the house saying he's late, but hey, you're here. That's all that matters, man. Doesn't matter that you were late. It matters that you showed up, that you came to give us a little bit of love, and we appreciate it.
What time is that show tomorrow, El Guapo?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Eastern?
9 o'clock Eastern, yes, sir.
And how long does that show usually go for?
Oh, are you kidding? They're gonna go up against Drawn and Quartered.
You know, EVS does that all the time.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, well, you know, it typically goes for an hour and a half sometimes. Depends. I think it depends on how the flow is going, you know.
Yeah, be prepared to do at least 2 hours.
I'll try to get it home as fast as possible. Give you some love.
Yeah, we're definitely the digital bullpen. We'll try to be there and give you a little bit of love from the chat. You know.
Yeah. I'll post some stuff up tonight and start blowing that up throughout tomorrow.
Yeah. Post so we can retweet. Tank is a retweet machine.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, Tank is amazing. He is like such a blessing. And whenever I post something up about Chango, man, it's like within a minute, Tank's like retweeting, liking, boom, check this out. You know, he's amazing. So mad props to Tank.
You know, and
Hey,
Tank
no
is
worries, man.
Tank is getting practice because he's got, if I remember correctly, 57 days.
That's correct.
57 days
Horrifyingly correct.
to the launch of Scalpel Zero. I pay attention. Y'all just think I just be retweeting, just to retweet and all that bullcrap. I pay attention to what's going on.
Bullcrap. That sounds like it's forever from now, man.
It may be, but I think he's doing it right because he's giving enough. He's giving Skunk Girl enough breathing room and people's wallets enough breathing room to recover.
That's
right. So
right.
I think
that's
I
right.
think it's right.
And we're trying to space it out. You know, we're working in a groove, working in a rhythm here. You know, and we're gonna have it so that way, you know, there's be like, you know, while we're building up the, you know, this infrastructure, while we are in the crowdfunding phase, that you know, we can get the maximum support, deliver the maximum quality of goods, and not leave our customers feeling empty walleted. Because you don't want that. You don't want your customers to feel like, oh, geez, I spent too much money. No, you want to go like, man, look at this great deal I got.
Right. You know, and that's the thing, man. And that's the thing. And but I think it was done right. I think you're not gonna get fatigued. And you gotta think about on this side also, Larry, that all these people that have books right now, they're collectively part of the digital bullpen. So they're, you know, people that are here are going to be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got three creators, 2 books already out. A third one is coming. We actually, you're unofficially part of the digital bullpen since you've been here enough times. So 3 people, you know, on this panel right now have books out. So Tank is doing it right. He's giving people a chance to breathe a little bit. You know, soak in the goodness of Niobe, soak in the goodness of the Unbreathable Skunk Girl. Hopefully they don't breathe in too much because the pheromones are lethal.
Breathe the goodness of Skunk Girl.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned those 3 books because when we were on Manny's show the other night, Slick Jimmy was with us, of course, of Little Girl Lethal.
Right.
And lots of talk now of like an Ash Can crossover.
And that would be awesome.
I'd say a full blown, not no ash can. I'd say full blown.
But an ash can is like
the
what?
Ash Can's tease, man. It's like in the old days when they used to make a short film,
but
you
know,
know,
is what you
and
do.
then they pitched it to make a feature length.
No. This is what you do, Tank. You almost had the right marketing idea.
Okay.
Let me expound on that just a little bit, right?
Chairman, you use the floor.
Yes. All right. So I know that nobody liked the Defenders on Netflix, right? But it was a great idea. Like the way they did it, where 2 heroes met up, 2 heroes met up, 2 heroes met up, 2 heroes met up, and then the whole team ran into each other. So, but you want it, what I'm thinking is you take these ash cans, right? Okay, ash can number 1, Unbreathable Skunk Girl, Little Girl Lethal mashup, right? Ash can number 2, Niobe and whomever else, Scalpel Zero, you know, mashup, right? And then ash can number 3, they all kind of run into each other. Then boom, you drop the book. So you have a four ash can mini series, right, leading up to the book, right? So it's a bigger collectible item. You know, ash cans are considerably cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And people can just buy into that, you know, because that's what ash cans were for in the beginning, right? To whet the appetite of what was coming, right?
I can give you a wonderful history of the ash can.
But what
really
I'm saying
abridged, it's called an ash can because it was garbage. They used to just burn it in their ash cans.
Right. And but I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that idea?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's MCU brilliant.
You know, we call them ash cans, but the pros called it trash cans.
Yeah.
Because pretty much it just went into the trash can. They didn't even look at it.
Yeah, but nowadays that's like a nostalgic thing. Like, oh, an ash can would be nice. You know? And the comic jabroni says, hey, everybody, I have to go. Good night. Hey, Ortiz, I'll hit you up on Instagram about reviewing some books on my channel. Promote y'all's Indiegogos. That's what I'm talking about, man. We have to reach out to other comic book lovers who may or may not know, you know, what the underground indie movement, CG, whatever you want to call it. I do not care. I call it independent comics because that's what it really is. Independent creators making good books. You know, I mean, I've backed like 22, 23 campaigns, and I slowed down a little bit because of some things left some bad taste in my mouth, you know, but I'm, you know, I'm kind of back now, you know, I'm kind of back. I definitely back Skunk Girl. I definitely back Chango. I back Niobe. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, for any, you know, for like, oh my God, you know, look at me. Jimmy is awesome. He backs. No, I'm just saying it because I really do love comics and I really do love independent artwork. And I think the only way that they'll ever be noticed is if people buy their stuff and people talk about their stuff. And if you're not able to do that, then you need to step aside and let someone else do it. You know what I'm saying? So.
And here's the thing, you know, when it comes to mainstream comics and sort of the collapse, who knows which one of these books, if any, or all of them, are going to be the next future kind of big thing. Maybe 10 years from now, you know, someone's talking about Scalpel Zero, you know, or maybe it becomes something. You know, think about like if you had like the very first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Mirage Studios back in the day, or the first Usagi Yojimbo, and these books that all started off kind of black and white and indie and then became something phenomenal. I really think that independent comic books right now and crowdfunding, whether it be Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever other platform you decide to use to get out your book, is the future of comic books.
Well, I hope that one day the crowdfunding aspect it's fine. I don't disagree with that, but I just hope that one day, you know, that the same people that are crowdfunding are also trying to reach out to LCSs. And so there's a way for people to still support the local comic book shops and still support Indiegogo / independent artists. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that would have to happen. Mainstream comic books have to stay alive then, so that there's a reason for these shops to still be around.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, because I'm one of the guys, I still like going. I mean, I found a nice shop here and I like going to it. You know what I'm saying? And they do have an indie section, and then they have self-published sections. So, you know,
I think those will become more and more relevant as time goes on. As I mean, I don't know if you saw that video that Ethan put up about DC having the lowest comics output.
Yeah, I just watched it before I jumped on here. Actually,
I mean that's freaking DC Comics. That's insane.
Right. If you Batman is not on the shelf, there's a problem, you know?
Yeah. What the heck, you know? And then it's really so what I'm seeing is that I personally think that a lot of people are just bowing out of comics that are comics gate thinking wise and may not even know it, okay, as far as like come right out and say it. But they have that mentality, and I really don't think they like what they're seeing, and they're just bowing out, okay? And so there's a void that's going to be created there that has to be filled, okay? And if you don't fill that with something, it's just going to wither away. And so that's why I think that the projects that are coming out right now, whether they're on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, if there's things that people are into, then I think that that's important to keep this medium, which is traditionally it's an American created medium as far as on the superhero side of it. You know, stories have been told all over the world with comics and stuff like that, but you know, just the way that they're formatted and told is a very American thing. And so you don't want to almost if you lose comics, you kind of lose a little bit of that culture. And so it's important for us as independent creators to really, you know, not just say, well, I'm Comicsgate and I'm just going to do a comic. And then it be kind of like, it's not really up to snuff. You know what I'm saying? Because then that doesn't give people that are looking, okay, for other avenues a desire to pick up books. or try something out if it doesn't look good, if it doesn't sound compelling to them or doesn't look compelling to them. And so we need to do that. I have 3 properties I'm trying to put out. The first thing I put out was Chango. I put that out only because I really felt that I just needed to get that out. All right. But I have a couple other properties that are probably a little bit more. They're more energetic. Whoa. Right. But I say that to say that, you know, as independent creators, you know, we have a responsibility to be just as professional, if not more so. You know, I've never run across an independent creator that is not more customer service orientated than an actual professional who has fans dropping big bank for the work that they do. You know, and I think E, you mentioned something about this yourself, about you search out independent creators on
Right.
purpose.
I do. When I was in North Carolina, RaleighCon, it's now called GalaxyCon, and the first people I search for are definitely the independent guys, that are an artist. So I always allocate myself X amount of money for any con. Like how much play money do I have, and how much of that play money do I want to put on commissions or prints or original work or whatever the case may be, right? And then I say, well, who could this bless the most? You know, would it bless that professional more, or would it bless that Josh Chris art guy? You know, there's an amazing artist, but never worked in the comic book industry, but can draw his tail off. You know, I mean, and I'm not saying that Josh is the one that needs money, so please don't take it like that. But I'm just using Josh as an example because he does go to cons and he does sell a lot of artwork, you know, and he reasonably prices himself. He's not hitting you over the head for $120, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But when you buy from him, he is super happy, super excited, you know. And sometimes when you buy from a pro, you just get this, all right, thanks, you know, and that's it. You know, like I just handed you whatever. Like the guy whose pencils are inking right now, Paul Pelletier, I met him in GalaxyCon. After I finished doing my round with the indie guys, I went to look at some pro type guys, right? And there were some guys there. Mr. Bum Picture himself, Robbie Rodriguez was there. He had no art. Go figure. He was just there just to be there. And there were some other Marvel guys. And there were my wife got offended by their attitude. So no money could go to them, period, point blank. That's just it. The wifey is upset. I'm sorry, dude. You upset my wife, who is the most docile creature in the world. Until you get her mad, then there's something wrong with you, not me.
That sounds like a story and a half right there, dude.
Yeah. So I turn over and look at Paul Pelletier. He's sitting there. He works for Marvel. Like, he's watching all this, you know, and you know, but he's so cool, right? He's like, I go over there. I talk to him 30-40 minutes about perspectives, drawing, you know, has he ever thought about going digital, you know, and using things like Google SketchUp for his perspectives, and look through his portfolio. We talk about, you know, some of the hardest work he did as far, you know, as a perspective drawing, which is like a ship, you know, like mechanical stuff in perspective is really difficult for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I think drawing anything in any mechanical drawing in a perspective is just like really, really rough. And so I was looking through some of his artwork, you know, I had a little bit of money left, and but I wanted to go look at some more indie guys. So I said, you know, I'll be right back, you know, da. So we went, looked around. I said, hey, babe, Scott, he's selling this Wolverine page for like $80. I said, if I can talk him to 75, you know, is it okay? You know, because I think he's really a good guy. I don't feel bad about giving him money, even though he's a pro, you know. She said, all right, whatever. I was like, cool. So I went over there and said, look, man, 75, and I'll take this piece off of you. No, you know, he said, man, 75 is fine. Here, you can have it. I was like, cool. You know, he was so cool about it. Like he wasn't like, you know, are you kidding me? This is Paul Pelletier. You know, you can't come over here haggling with me. He was like, you know what, 75 is fair. And I gave him the cash. He gave me the drawing. He signed it, everything. It's pencils, of course, which I, of course, scanned right away and inked over them digitally because that's how I am, right? but the amount of humility and humbleness for a guy who is such an amazing penciler, who was better than the other two guys, in my opinion, in penciling, but yet was so much more down to earth and so much more approachable and so much more relatable that I was like, okay, I could deal with this guy, you know, and if I see him again, I will probably, and that's what people don't realize. Good customer interaction brings about repeat customers. Like if I go to a con over here on the West Coast and I see him, I will more than likely buy another one of his pieces. Period, point blank, because the interaction that I had with him, as opposed to the other guys, was pretty good. You know, it was what I wanted to experience. You know, like I wanted to be able to talk about his process. Wanted to be able to talk about, you know, how he goes about doing his artwork, you know, what kind of, you know, how he got into penciling, how long, you know, and pick his brain a little bit about art. You know what I'm saying? More a little bit, because the second we talked about 20, 30 minutes the first time. When I went back to buy the artwork, we talked another 20, 30 minutes. So it wasn't like, oh, I wish this dude would shut up. He's wasting my time. Like he engaged, he answered my questions, you know, he gave me tips. And he didn't know if I was going to buy or not. You know what I'm saying? But he took his time out, you know, he took the time out to be, like I said, very humble and talk to me like, hey, you know, like this guy is asking me questions and he had a common courtesy and a common respect. And he treated me like a valued customer as opposed to the other two guys. And that's why I say I always seek out the people that you could be a blessing to. But he turned out to be a blessing to me because he actually listened and gave me pointers and, you know, told me do this, told me do that, you know, and good stuff like that. You know, I can't be mad about that experience. You know what I'm saying? I could be mad about the other two, but not really, because I don't care. Like, oh, that's the way you want to be. I'm the consumer. You know, I have the buying power. And if you don't like my money, I'll take it with me elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. And I'm not trying to be a butthole about, you know, how they treated me, or I'm just saying that, you know, you reap what you sow. And I always try to be a blessing to somebody, you know, to whomever I'm going to buy the artwork from. I'm hoping that my money is a blessing to them and they can continue to do that craft that they love.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like the other two that you were talking about were way too politically charged to care. And well, you know, while having morals and stuff is great and all that sort of thing, you still got to pay your bills. And if you treat your customers like they're trash just because you voted for Clinton and this other guy voted for Trump, and all of a sudden that makes his money no good to you, that's an issue. You know,
well,
like
it makes no sense to me. Like the whole, you know, the whole thing about being able to disagree about whatever, you know, and still be civil. And I don't want to use the civil word, but let's say,
no, we agree to disagree, right?
Right. We could have different views on everything. But if Niobe Comics and E. Ortiz disagree about everything under the star, the moon, the sun, water, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Niobe Comics, you know, wants to sell his book, and he's like, yo, I don't agree with E. Ortiz, but he wants to buy my product, so you know, I should sell him my product. And I'm like, yo, just because I don't agree with some of his stances doesn't mean I don't think his story or his artwork or his book or his overall packaging is not that good. I mean, I'm not going to be blind to say, oh, I hate his opinions, so I hate his book. That's dumb. You know, you're not going to agree with everybody all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
It's not going to happen, but you should be able to see past those differences and still treat each other like human beings, like people, you know, like a fellow human, like a brother and sister. But that's why, you know, people in the armed forces always treat each other like brothers and sisters, because they all come from different parts of the world, different lives, different anything. But once you go to combat together, all that goes out the window. Nobody cares if you're Puerto Rico or Alabama or Alaska or Hawaii.
Nope.
Well, there's having common factor, right? They're all in the military. They all serve. You know, I have a friend of mine that I play video games with on my other channel, and he's a hardcore leftist. You know, he's a gay man. He's a left-winged guy, and he and I disagree on a great many things. But what we do agree on is, hey, we like to play Overwatch together, and that's what we concentrate on, and we have fun doing it. You know,
right?
And we don't try and let any sort of identity politics or any politics at all get in the way. You know, sometimes during the course of a stream something comes up and we banter back and forth about it, but we're also quick to shake hands after that bantering and move on and keep doing what we were doing, you know.
Right. And that's important because you're not going to agree with a lot of people, and it's just a fact of life, you know. Carter's Eat is in the chat saying hello. Caleb Cologne is saying hoorah. He must have been a Marine.
We appreciate our devil dogs.
Heck yeah. Oh man, I called a Marine a devil dog one day, and I think the meaning changed or something. He got insulted. I don't know it because I was in the army.
The army calling him a devil dog.
Yeah, but see the thing.
This one time. No, wait. These 3 times in Baghdad, we bailed out the Marines. 1-8 cab Mustangs, baby.
But the term devil dog came from the Second World War, if I'm not mistaken, and that was due to the Marines' effective sniping skills. Oh
man, no, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Marines. We say we bailed them out. That's an exaggeration. We reinforced them and assisted them with clearing out insurgents that were entrenched in a city. And man, we worked together so well. We got along real well. Tankers and Marines. Who'd have thought we were best of pals?
Yeah.
I gotta ask Manny a question. Is that Cecil in the drawing?
Yeah, it is.
Hello.
Oh, hold on. Let me push it on Manny real quick.
Yeah, that's a special piece of fan art right there, done by a VIP James D. Anderson, who's got convict claws out.
Yeah.
I remember James. He drew a Niobe for me. I haven't spoken to him in quite some time.
Oh, he's an awesome dude, man.
This was done during the drawn in quarter pound edition. He drew along.
Nice. Oh wow. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think I've seen it before, but I think this is the first time I've seen you work on it.
Well, I'm gonna color it.
Ah, nice. Okay. Manny does a great job coloring. He takes my shoddy artwork and makes it look amazing.
I mean, that's the whole thing is like I said, I mean, we're pacing ourselves, me and Tank. So doing this will go out as a tweet soon, Yeah. The right strategic people.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Carter C says he is new here. He says, nice stream. Well, Carter C, please don't be a stranger. And look at the links for the other guys' YouTube channel. Everybody on this awesome panel has a YouTube channel. Manny and I stream on alternating days. Manny on Mondays, me on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I'm off. Thursdays is me. Manny is Friday. Niobe Comics has his own channel as well. Josh Chris Arts has his channel as well. Speaking of Josh Chris Arts, I've been bragging on this dude. I went off tangent for a while. Let's check out what he's got going on here. Josh. I think Josh is muted.
I'm sitting here pressing the unmute button. It's like, no, you can't do that.
Now we just wanted to check on you, buddy. See how you're doing. See how far you've gotten on this drawing.
We're on some line work with the wings on this character.
Nice. Because Josh and I's late night drawing always fun to draw with a live stream drawing in the back. Yep, that's what we used to do. Josh and I started streaming together. That's why I always try to make sure Josh is taken care of. Man, he's my ace boon coon, my original.
I'm not even worried about my channel. I'm just going to be on your guys.
I mean, we could eventually.
That's my thing.
That's my thing first.
That is true. That is true. Let's see what we got going on here with Cesar. Cesar's doing another skunk, girl, with the bum sticking out.
These are pencils.
Oh, I know what he's doing.
Oh, he's inking that pencil.
He's inking my pencils. That's pretty darn cool.
Whoa, that is pretty cool. I'm gonna be like Cesar one day.
Up on my screen,
Cesar.
that's the picture that James Dean Anderson did for me.
Yeah, hold on, moving over.
I've been meaning to draw that character. So actually, is this for? Is this campaign that character of yours? Is there an active campaign for that right now? Or are you going to be putting something out, or?
Well, I've done 5 issues so far. There is an active campaign right now. It's a reprint of issue 1 for people that never got it with a brand new cover. And then once that's all wrapped up, we're putting out the brand new book that will be in full color.
So how many days do you have left on this campaign here?
17.
17. Okay. So I know E was just talking about the YouTube channel. So I've kind of been trying to figure out what my channel is going to be, and it's looks like it's turning into a draw stream interview kind of thing. So what I do is I bring on someone that is either has a campaign currently or will have a campaign currently, whether it's on Indiegogo, Kickstarter. So far, it's all been Indiegogo. And then what I do is while we're talking about their project and kind of like things that they're into, I draw their character live. It's been going pretty good. I think this is like I just did one with Adam Post from College of the Dead. I think it was my 3rd one, and they seem to be received pretty well so far. So if you wanted to be on and be a part of that, it's a lot of fun usually, and I'd love to have you on.
Brother, I'm in like Flynn.
All right.
Man, this is a beauty.
I never say no to this stuff like that. I've gotten criticized for talking to certain people, right? I did an interview with EVS once, and then there was like people on the left saying, accusing me of all sorts of things, especially, being right-winged and stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm going to talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime, as long as they treat me cool. They get the same level of respect. I don't care what side of the pendulum they swing on, and that's how I've always operated. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, right? You like money, and you gotta sell.
Well, I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the money too, don't get me wrong, but I like hanging out with creators and exchanging ideas and looking at what other people are doing and talking shop. I don't like this whole bickering and warring and taking sides and labels.
That's the premise. That was the one thing that Manny and I said from the very, very, very beginning when we started streaming. We're keeping the drama out. We're keeping
I'm with you guys, man.
We're keeping all the BS out. And Manny and I agreed on this from the get-go. Both our shows, even before Manny and I started streaming together, both of our shows had that same tone. Keep your drama to yourself. Don't bring up no political craziness. Let's just talk about the love of art, the love of comics, and let that be the guiding force, because you know what? A lot of people just love artwork. They don't need to know everything, Of course, people like to know something about you, but you don't have to beat them over the head with ideology. Tell simple stuff like, hey, like Tank and I were in the Army. Cesar was a Marines, But I'm a Christian. Manny's a Christian. You don't hear us quoting Bible verses at you or trying to convert you and all that stuff, right? But we do keep the show pretty clean. You very rarely ever hear any curse words.
Not last night.
Well, that wasn't here last night on your show.
We have a new
effing champion.
We have a new champion. Risey lost.
Yeah. Well, it's Slick Jimmy, beat out Risey Lee. I didn't think that was possible.
Oh,
I know.
He went for it. He got it.
It's not something we're proud of, but a record's broken is a record broken.
Right. So now y'all got to catch that stream to see how many F-bombs were actually dropped. Great marketing ply. Well, no, but you know what I'm saying, Larry. It's like you can. That's what I was saying earlier. You can get along with people. Just do what you got to do, and you don't. just because you don't agree, you may be an atheist. I don't know. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? But you're a pretty good guy. You do great artwork. You do the little wrestling thing, which is pretty cool. And how can I be mad at that?
Actually, I was, I don't even mind answering the question. I was born Roman Catholic.
All right, cool.
Hardcore Irish sort of vibe, don't really practice, but yeah, that's where what the family is.
Right. Yeah, like I said,
Well,
go ahead, Hank.
I'm just here to entertain. I want people to have that pleasant endorphin rush, that little tiny pleasant endorphin rush. Maybe a little corner of their mouth just kicking up a millimeter, when they see something,
Tank.
They read something.
When you make your bad jokes, I have a miniature stroke.
Well,
I don't know if that counts.
That's for my endorphin rush, though. You see.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's
no.
It's that whole balance in the universe must happen.
Right.
Yeah.
As Tank dons the Infinity Gauntlet. There must be balance. I am inevitable.
Yeah, I got a busy day tomorrow, boys. I got 2 streams, plus I got to send out the first wave of Avani packages. So it's like 15, 16 packages I'm bringing to the post office. I'm going to see what the damage is on that one,
Right. Man, that's good, though.
I love the way, though, I was going to say something else, but I got all sidetracked because I'm watching this guy draw wings. And
Josh is amazing, dude.
I'm introducing a brand new character in the next Niobe, and she has wings. So this guy's completely got my attention now.
Well, Josh is amazing.
I've got lucky on this. This is like the 3rd time I've drawn this, man. I've not been happy with the way the wings turned out, or I had a smaller 9x. This is 11x14. And the guy wanted a 9x12, and I didn't like how the fig. You couldn't get a good figure and nice looking wings on 9x12. They'd curve in and look like the typical Sailor Moon wing pose, and I'm like, I don't want that. I really want these wings to spread out. So I told him, I was like, look, I'm gonna have to put 11x14 that way the figure looks good. You can tell who the person is, and I got some nice looking wings on here. And he's like, well, is it going to be? I'm like, I'm not going to charge you more. It's just because I've taken too long on this. I don't even care if you pay me. I'm done. I'm just going to do this, color it, and it's yours. I don't care if you pay me.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a free drawing from Josh Creates Art, just change it a whole bunch of times. When he gets tired of it, he'll give it to you for free.
Well, no. He asked for it in April. He asked for it, and I said, well, you're like 3rd on commissions I got to do, and then I got hit with Upper Deck twice. So and he understands. He's a total, as you were saying, repeat customer. This guy's bought tons of artwork from me, and he's actually after he found out I did the Upper Deck stuff, he went online, found them on eBay, and went ahead and bought 2 sets of them. And he's like, I'm going to get your stuff now before you get too famous and you're worth too much. I'm like, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I like the mentality.
I like where you're going with this.
I like where you're going.
It's smart. It's smart, though. I encourage art collectors to buy my stuff for super cheap and then flip it on eBay. Like, have fun with that, man.
Right.
So Ariel of Angel Elite. This is the characters that'll be introduced in the brand new Niobe, probably in August or September. What do you think you could do with that, Josh?
Well, I mean, I like your wing design. I mean, it's.
Well, I didn't draw this. This is someone else's drawing, but I designed her. I could show you my own crappy design, but yeah. That's done by a guy named Andrew Clark locally here. He does an independent comic book called Adam.
Oh, it went black.
Oh, it went black? Okay. Here. Oh. But yeah, so her and Niobe, they're going to be at odds in the brand new issue.
I'm digging it.
I think Josh would rock the heck out of that because I don't know if you've seen, but Josh does a lot of anime stuff too.
Yeah, I'm trying to swing a little bit more that way. I don't usually do anime, but I am trying to swing that way because unfortunately, comics are dying. Anime is not.
Yeah, I'm looking for nice wings, sexy armor, But she's an angel, not like a legit angel. She's like a mutant born with wings, but she thinks she's an angel. You know what I mean?
Right.
And works for the Vatican. Yeah.
I'll show you this real quick.
The Vatican.
Yeah, I like this. See, this is cool.
See, unfortunately, the because it's not ink, the pencils aren't showing up very well with the thing. But this is my own character design for something that I'm going to be working on later on in the future. But I'm trying to also figure out female armor. This character will not be showing as much skin as typical anime armor set that women have. I'm trying to go very covered armored person. Just because of who the character is based on, doesn't like to show skin in real life. So trying to be a little bit realistic with that as well.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Is that is that like a leather gambeson she's got underneath? Looks like a gambeson or something.
I can't decide if it's going to be leather, but on the first design, I kind of did like, how all these RPGs back in the day had all different kinds of chainmail. I was thinking kind of like a dragon type chainmail where it's got scales on it.
Okay.
Instead of leather.
That's okay. That's okay, but as a history nerd, the cloth gambeson, like that same pattern right there, just the puffy cloth.
Yeah.
Or in D&D, padded armor. In real life, padded armor is infinitely better than leather armor.
Well, she definitely on her biceps and like upper arm, she's definitely like a leather of some sort. I just haven't figured out what the waist is yet. But yeah, I mean, I've had time figuring out how to design wings myself. So like I said, this is my third go around. The only other person with wings I've ever drawn was Archangel, and those are pretty easy to do.
Yeah, well, they're more like metal and bladed. Yeah, I'm going to show you. Now, I'm not an artist. Just keep this in mind. I can draw just enough to tell an artist what I want, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
But so there's the original design for Ariel, the angel elite character.
Okay.
So,
No, I like those wings.
Dude, you're not bad at all. I expected like this stick figure.
You definitely do something with those wings. I like the points that you have, okay, and then the sharp edges that you have there. You can actually do something really neat with that, where the feathering looks a little bit rougher, not so smooth and pretty, and it would counterbalance the prettiness of the actual character itself.
yeah, man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to find. Well, I got an artist for the new Niobe book, and I hope he brings her to life like the way I see her in my mind. But we'll find out.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of which, I don't know. Can we talk about that, or is that one of those secret stretch goals, Manny?
Which one?
The commission that Josh did for you.
It's on there. That's
On
the
there?
next stretch goal.
Yeah.
Next stretch goal.
That's the next stretch goal.
Yep. It's the next
Oh
stretch goal.
shoot! So the next stretch goal is the Josh Chris trading
Yes.
card.
Yes, you got that right. And if you haven't hit that stretch, if you need to make that stretch goal happen, because Josh Chris drew an amazing piece.
We are 1,300 away from it.
So we need to make that happen. We need to make that happen.
Only 1,300 away? That's too easy, man. Y'all need to tell your family who's not connected to social media and tell them, hey, spread the word. There's this crazy project on Indiegogo. It's super easy to sign up for Indiegogo. You can pay with regular cards and stuff. Payment options are super, super easy as well. So it's boomer friendly.
If Manny could put the campaign together, you can support it. Mr. I didn't know I had to put an FAQ to launch my campaign.
Seriously, why would anybody put FAQ before you launch the campaign? That does not make sense at all. Oh, but you know what? Of all the campaigns that you've ever backed or been a part of, that was memorable.
That was memorable.
If you think of it, if I just hit the damn button and everything went smooth, nobody would remember how much fun we had making fun of Manny.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I was like,
it was an experience.
I was like, hey, Edwin, you want to do the countdown? I will. And then Manny said, wait a minute, is that clock right? It is. Then he
Yeah.
said, holy smokes. I got 30 seconds.
All right, guys, I'm gonna call it because I gotta get up and go to the gym in the morning. So,
What?
El Guapo's working out, trying to get fit.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get fit eventually one of these days.
Don't let the 54-year-old guy beat you to that.
You know,
Wait, I want to see that again. What was that? Red.
I don't know.
Red thing. Some
Hey,
red.
oh, the Cecil?
No. Like, I don't know, some red character looks like they're in a ring of fire.
There you
That's
go.
Niobe. That's one of my old drawings of Niobe.
Oh, that is really cool design.
That was done with Copic markers. When I bought 7 or 8 Copic markers, and I was just fooling around with them.
So she's evolved since this?
Oh yeah.
So she doesn't even, this isn't even like, this is just nothing, right?
Well, this is me drawing her before we even considered her a comic, because I made this character when I was 16 years old, role playing Heroes Unlimited. You know what I mean? Then I've done other drawings, like this one here is 2009.
Well, dude, listen, she's a female. There's nothing that says that she can't have different outfits.
Oh, she's got tons of outfits, brother. I have a whole binder full of these. Some of these are commissions I've had done. Some of these are my own work. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of these.
So that's the classic, the mini skirt with the long boots, right?
This ended up being the default design. When people ask me for a reference, I give them this one, because this is kind of the look she has in the comic book right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, she can, in theory, be wearing anything. She doesn't have a costume per se. Her costume is her face paint. That's it. You know what I mean?
Right. Except that one wasn't a costume at all.
No. Yeah, lots of people have done this. That one's kind of funky. I like that one.
I like that. That's cute.
That one cost me $5 at a convention.
What?
Yeah, back in 2013, some German artist, I said, hey, can you draw my character in that Teen Titan style? She said, sure. I said, how much? She said, $5. I said, done deal.
My gosh, should have had to do 2 or 3 of them.
Right? But
well, see, hey, listen, as an artist that goes to conventions, I hate that. like right there, that person that did that for $5, they're seriously underselling themselves. Okay, so there are people that are at this level of that person that did that for $5 that would probably, a quick sketch like that, charge you $25, $30 on the very low end. This person's doing it for $5.
easily.
So she must work for Fiverr or something. But yeah, I hate that. And I understand that some people do that, but a lot of people that I've seen do that are not really what I would say skilled. Okay, they can kind of bang out a little sketch and whatever. You kind of help them out. You give them $5, but man, telling you. And I actually sat at a convention where a person was doing that, and I felt bad because they were doing this thing for $5. Okay, they're not bad. Okay, I'm thinking to myself, man, dude, you got to charge a little bit more. And when the person would look at that, they would say, oh, $5. Oh, that's neat. I'll come back and do it. And then the person would come to me and they say, well, how much are you charging? Well, I'm doing like a headshot with a torso shot for, $65 inked. Okay, let me get this character and this character. Okay. And I felt bad because this person is, decent. They, they're a little different. It's a different style, more like what you showed there, but they undersold themselves so much that they put a perception in the customer's mind that it's not a value. What they're bringing is not valuable. You know, I don't know. I do you understand what I'm saying, E? I mean, as a person and Manny, you know, before you did your comics, I know that you buy a lot of original art and stuff like that. But I mean, am I off base? At least that's the way I feel about it.
You're not. That was the whole thing when I used to sell my artwork at fairs and stuff. If you go too cheap, nobody's gonna buy it. They don't think you're worthy of the money. They think you're just an amateur. You gotta price it at an appropriate price. You don't want to put yourself too high that nobody's gonna buy it, but you can't go too cheap either.
Yeah.
It's just that's the way it is. I mean, it's perception from the customers.
Well, this one here was $60 Canadian. This was done by Ashley Witter, who's done a shit ton of work for Marvel.
Nice. That I would pay $60 for that. Quick sketch like that. Probably only took what, 40 minutes to do?
Oh, I'm not sure. This was at a con. She was like first day commission deal, right? Because she charges a lot more. But she was $60 commissions if you hit her up right there on that Thursday, like the early bird day. Yeah. And I just came back the next day and collected it. So I don't know how long it took.
Nice. That's real nice. I like that. All right, so you got to get out. You got to come on my show so I can draw Niobe.
Absolutely, brother. I'm in.
All right, I guess I'll schedule it. I'll hit you up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, man. I'm usually available during the week. I work weekends.
Yeah.
This one here is gorgeous. This is by Paul Green. He does a lot of work for Zenoscope.
Yeah, Paul Green. He's a J. Scott Campbell clone. I'm trying to remember, or am I confusing him with Randy Green?
No, you're absolutely right. Here, I'm going to show you one last thing, brother. Speaking of Paul Green, because he did my variant cover for my next issue. You want to see it?
Dude, yeah. Let's look at it.
All right, let me. I got like tons of files here, but I'm going to try and find it really quick here.
It's a digital bullpen. We're talking art, looking at art and stuff like that. That's what we do.
That's the black and white version. I don't want that. I don't want.
You got to bring your drawing down a little bit, El Guapo. Put it in the frame. We didn't see a butt. We want to see that pretty face that you've been inking.
Let's see, where is it again?
All right, here it is. I'm just gonna.
Well, what's wrong with looking at just the butt, dude? I mean, come on.
So, do you know who Ula Moss is, by the way?
Who?
Ula Moss. She's like she's a legendary, in my opinion, legendary colorist in the industry. She does a lot of colors like Lady Death and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she did the colors she usually does the colors for Paul's stuff, right? So Paul drew this and she colored it. And there it is.
Oh, wow.
And so this is going to be, one of the variant covers when we launch the next Niobe.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this helps me.
That's gorgeous.
A lot of books. You know what I mean? Because
that cover is going to sell a lot of books.
Yeah, these people, they both have a fairly large fan following. So, I'm pretty lucky that they were willing to work with me.
Dude, yeah, heck yeah, that's gorgeous. So back in the day, I used to do a lot of good girl art with the illustration studio, Steve Warren, who's a good girl fantasy artist. And he taught me a lot about like inking and stuff like that with brush, and so mostly with brush. So that's what I did. I'm a big brush inker. And it's funny because even with my like if I do with quill and even with tech pen, I can make it look like brush. Takes a little bit longer. It's a little easier with crow quill, but I do like the look of brush, which I'm trying to get that look here with Manny's piece, especially. I don't know if you can see down in this area here. Right in here, there.
Why am I on camera?
Oh, you're on camera because he was. Because I got.
I'm not even dressed yet. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck trying to ink some facial features over here, and I forgot to flip it over.
All right, what am I looking at? Okay.
Yeah, and I just got my mod just hit me with the 5-minute warning.
Oh yeah.
So because
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to call it. All right, guys. Hey, listen, I'm done. We'll talk to you. And yeah, make sure you catch the show tomorrow if you can. 9 o'clock on crowdfunding comics. Spread the link. I'm gonna post it again tomorrow a couple times, and go from there.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell people where they can find you, Cesar.
All right, so you can find me at Twitter at El Guapo Comics, Instagram at the Artist Feliciano. I have a YouTube channel, El Guapo Comics, and Facebook, the Art of Cesar Feliciano, and also running a campaign on Indiegogo, Chango the Broken Veil. If you feel so inclined, check it out. Back it. I promise you, I'm putting a lot of hard work and effort into that to make a good product that is very appealing. So, with that said, I bid you all a fond adieu. Au revoir. And good night.
Good night, brother. All right. So we're down to 4 minutes. So we can go ahead and start. Let's start with let's start with Larry. Larry, go ahead and plug yourself, where you can be found, your Indiegogo campaign, YouTube channel, the whole worky works.
The whole worky works. Well, Indiegogo, 17 days left for Niobe #1 reprint. Hope you guys check it out and enjoy her. What you see on my screen right now is a page from the brand new Niobe yet to be released. This is done by a Brazilian artist named Samir, and this will be all colored. And so very excited. So this is going to be the art style coming out for the next book. You can find me at Rebel Comics on YouTube or Rebel Gaming if you're a gamer and you just want to hang out and watch us goof off. Like, we're doing this huge BWK wrestling event called WrestleGate. Where we're going to have like Skunk Girl on there and Sugar Lightspeed and Niobe and Scalpel Zero and Pope Fire and some of the personalities and characters you've come to know in the last little while. Booster Kiwi, his character's on the show, so that's coming up. Twitter is Niobe Comic. Instagram is Niobe Comic. And I have my Facebook as well, which is Niobe Comic. So you can pretty much find me, anywhere. And subscribe and, back the book. And if you can't back the book, like Manny said, the second best thing you can do is share it out and let other people see that it's out there in case they're able to back it. And I just want to thank Mr. E for allowing me to crash the show and hang out for a while.
It's not a problem, brother, man. Any friend of Manny's is usually a friend of mine.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're in the Dog Stars now, so you got the stamp of approval.
So there you go. There you go. And speaking of Dog Stars and whatnot, Mr. Josh Chris Arts.
Yeah, I'm Josh Chris Art. I'm free. I can finally show you all artwork. I've been gone for a month in the dark. The project's done, so I'm gonna start working on some commissions, doing some other stuff here and there. But you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Josh Chris Art.
Yep, there you go. Mr. Tank Ferret.
Well, hey, thank you for having me on this digital bullpen there, E. It's been a fantastic ride. Man, a lot of good data out here. You can find me at on Twitter and Instagram at /Tank Ferret Art. You can also find me on with Larry sometimes, and especially at WrestleGate. It's going to be a SmackDown event you can't miss.
Boom.
All right, and I always save Manny for last because he is pushing that campaign. I mean, not saying that Niobe Comics wasn't pushing that campaign, but Manny and I have been streaming for so long, that I save him this special spot so he can go all out.
I can go all out. All right, thank you for having me on the program as usual, ERTs, and thank you people in the chat that have been supporting the book. And like Larry just said, if you can't support the book financially, please support the book by getting the word out. That's how we do it. get the word out, get some people in there that can support the book, and just keep on climbing. I mean, we're almost at. I mean, we're less than $1,300 or around there to get the Josh Chris trading card unlocked. So we're on our way. We're going to hit that guaranteed. What I really want to do is I want to unlock that trusty sidekick, and we got a ways to go for that one. But we'll get there. We'll get there. On my screen, we got a beautiful piece of artwork from Ryan Cardinal that he did, and Tank Ferret actually colored this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. That's the newest addition to the Wall of Fame. Amazing artwork by Ryan Cardinal, and nice color work there, Tank.
Oh, thanks, man. Ryan really makes it look great. It's his car. I just painted it.
Yep, which is cool. And find me on Good Dog Press Monday and Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. This week, I'll be on Drawing Aces on Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. So come check that out. And Friday might be a special guest. I'm trying to hook that up. Not going to say anything until I confirm it, but I'm working on it.
We're going to have another EVS sighting?
No, but we might have somebody who's the talk of the town.
Yes.
I'll just say that.
Nice. That would be awesome.
All right.
And of course, I am your humble host, 1 minute overdue, E. Ortiz. And you can find me at colorblind_E. You can find me on Manny's channel on Mondays and Fridays normally. And of course, our streaming. Last week we were off a little bit because I was out of town, but I'm back in town this week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if everything goes well, you can find me, I said, at colorblind_E on Twitter, E. Ortiz Arts on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, if you're here, E. Ortiz on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for joining us and making this a wonderful stream. I'm sorry I didn't get to read a lot of the chats today, but there was a lot of good content, information, a lot of good talk going on, and I didn't want to interrupt the flow. But just know that each and every single one of you in the chat is greatly appreciated. And we would love for you to keep coming back and keep giving us love and support so we can continue to put the digital bullpen out. We love y'all. God bless and good night.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.